you for your comment. I request you to stay on. We now move on, viewers. Now, German Foreign Minister Johann Wadephul on Monday criticized Russia's stubborn insistence on territorial issues following last week's trilateral talks in Abu Dhabi with Russian, Ukrainian and US envoys. Wadephul warned that without flexibility from Moscow, negotiations could take much longer or fail at this stage. He emphasized that the territorial issue remains a major sticking point in efforts to resolve the Ukrainian conflict and called for constructive engagement from all parties to achieve meaningful progress. Collins requested to join me back in the discussion here. Of course, the European leaders will attack Russia as far as the peace dialogue is concerned, and Russia's what many are saying maximalist demands. But Russia, of course, is hell-bent on its Anchorage formula, which means for Ukraine to cede its territory. What really do you think can be the outcomes from these trilateral talks, and if peace is anywhere near in sight?
Yeah, we have seen how the statement is less about rhetoric but more about setting red lines. This is a signal from Berlin that any peace framework in the future must not be at the expense of territorial integrity of Ukraine and hence the territorial integrity of Europe as a whole. So this is unacceptable to Germany, to Europe, and this reflects a much more hardened stance by Europe on the consensus that territorial integrity and national sovereignty are the core fundamentals that cannot be negotiated regardless of economic costs, regardless of war fatigue. So if Germany is now pushing back quite hard against Russian maximalism, and that this is also in line with the need by Europe to show a hardened stance in order to defend the interests of Ukraine, which is now linked to the security and defense of Europe as a whole. So this marks a shift from Germany's posture, from a more values-based response now to a more security-driven stance, and to portray this hardened European stance opposing Russian actions, and of course also this will also compel other European nations to have similar stance and sentiments. But the key fundamental will be, of course, peace cannot be conditional on the basis of legitimizing force, and this is afraid this is Berlin is also wary of the fact that this might set a precedent far beyond Ukraine, and this will affect the future security of Germany and Europe as a whole. So now Germany is saying clearly that there can be some compromises in terms of agreements on the peace process, in terms of the deadlines or the timelines, or maybe the content on the security guarantees, and maybe the sanctions and all that, but not on sovereignty, not on territorial integrity, not on the rights of Ukraine to have these regions and the territories that belong to them, and not to be compromised by any actions by Russia. So this is a new shift. But again, as I've stated, I don't foresee the impact of Germany's responses to the entire peace process and peace agreement. Most importantly will be the role being played by President Trump and Washington, and the trilateral peace process involving Ukraine, Russia and the US. I don't foresee the extent or the depth or the volume of the role or the impact of Europe, or whether Germany, whether France, to have any kind of profound impact on derailing the entire peace process, with the greater role being played, the influence being played by the Trump administration as a whole. So I don't foresee that to derail the whole process.
Right, Collins, thanks once again here for your comments. Request you to stay on as we move ahead, viewers. There's some